Alright, this is P.O.C. This is the entity, this is Cable Airport, as you're going to prosecute the city engaging in surveillance. It is the U.S. military stalking with the city of Upland. This is Foothill Boulevard in Upland at Euclid Avenue, which you know runs south into Ontario. It is currently 6:45 a.m. I am at what is a heavily documented venue where the fake sun is over me in the morning when Tracy Banks is gang stalking me, for example. License 4WN432 at this McDonald's at 100 East Foothill. And the fake sun is over me over the McDonald's in the morning, and it is also over me now at what is 6:45 p.m. And there is no duration of time, daylight savings time or not. The years of 2022 to the present that will ever reconcile that. The entity is engaging in stalking in the sky space, and they're engaged in empathic pacing. Okay, so this is relevant to the surveillance that's underway inside of the Bakers, where they're engaging in surveillance. A male is engaging what is stalking in the bathroom, maintaining criminal presence. They're engaging what is stalking in the drive-through, maintaining criminal presence. This is criminal presence on the roads and the highways while they are monitoring, they being the people of the state. And they engage in this while the entity is at the same time keeping the fake sun over the Upland Public Library, which this is not. I've migrated north of Upland Public Library, where the entity has the fake sun as I exit, and the domestic terrorists of the Upland Police Department are gang stalking outside of the entrance doors of that library, where it remains, in order for me to capture images of it, which is not going to be capable of me to see it when it's north of this location, and the same U.S. military, the city of Upland, are gang stalking me under a fake sun. All right, but this is what the entity is doing while that fake sun is remaining over me after 6 p.m., 7 p.m., where I then walk south to Ontario, and the entity keeps this fake sun in alignment to me. This is the entity that's engaging in aerial surveillance and McDonald's committing sexual assault and battery with the people of the state who are stalking in a parking lot. This is their mental illness. While you're looking at the city of Ontario that fully intends to be shut down as an airport, this is the mental illness while they engage in obsessive and also self-incriminating conduct, and it incriminates everyone else. There's no airport, no commercial airline planes in Upland. Certainly nowhere in this location of a Foothill. And that's the entity that is stalking. Cable Airport, Ontario International Airport, the U.S. military are the ones stalking in these planes with no passengers on them. You're not landing or taking off, obviously. This is the entity that's doing so. Cable Airport is also being prosecuted while the military uses the planes, uses these airports, and they're engaging in what is showing you severe mental instability. And this is why the people of the state are losing driving privileges while they are engaging in the conspiracy to murder via the roads and the highways. All right, that's what this commercial vehicle is, this light activity while I'm at Baker's, and the entity is engaging with a surveillance in that restaurant, and the entity is crossing paths with me, gang stalking me. And don't forget the entity that's keeping the fake sun over me while I maintain a body of evidence showing that it's remaining in Ontario at the Ontario Ovid Family Community Library, as just one example. This is the P.O.C. at 6:48 p.m. The ongoing evidence: the entity is stalking by the commercial airline companies, the entity is stalking by systematic pacing in the small planes. That's the entity that's being committed, and it's also relevant to damages. The entity makes a decision every time when they're engaged. This is exceeding stalking. So while psychopaths are stalking, on the roads and the highways, this is surveillance. They make a decision every demon crossing path. They're monitoring for them to murder. The entity is being prosecuted. Is relevant to civil damages. It's relevant to sentencing. It's relevant to the prosecution itself. All right, this is the entity that's engaging in what is Upland, California, and the city of Ontario, and the commercial airline companies are gang stalking as one, while you have what is a matter of judicial notice. No planes from any airport, not from San Bernardino International, not from Chino, not from LAX, are hovering in the sky space in the middle of Upland, California. Okay, and there is no sun that will be at the same location where I'm documenting in the morning at US Bank, at Foothill, and Euclid, at the Bank of America, at Uptown and Country, at Vaughn's grocery store, where Chin of Upland Police are gang stalking me, and I get that fake sun during the 11 a.m. hour. This is an entity that's engaging in that surveillance, and all the means whereby I'm prosecuting. Impunity is relevant to sentencing Chin. Impunity is relevant to disbanding that agency while they are prosecuting themselves while terrorizing an American citizen as though you will not suffer the consequences, and they absolutely will. This is P.O.C. This is the entity that's engaging in mentally ill behavior, okay? This is Psycho. What is this? 33929 Bob 4, and that's Premier Constructor as well. And Impossible Light moves across this curb. That business and that third party is a demon who are both monitoring me. All right, that's the P.O.C. Monitoring is an act of terrorism committed with the people of the state. by the government. And the entities engaged in this, where the fake son is located. So this is where you're understanding the mental illness, and this is the diagnosis of that, and this is informing the medical field that are not infiltrated by terrorists themselves, that are engaged in the legitimate practice of medicine, where you are able to, through the pattern of conduct, which is relevant through the environment and the behavior that they're engaging in the environment, to diagnose with regard to what is involuntary commitments. This is P.O.C. The entity is going to produce their identities because they are going to be involuntarily committed, and that includes the people of the state. All right, these are businesses that are stalking, including while they pull up in the drive-thru or pull up in the parking lot, leave out of the park. All of it is stalking. That's why the fake son, the supernatural phenomenon, is here. And by the way, not in Ontario, not over the Ovid Family Community Library, not remaining over the Upland Public Library, but remaining over me, which is relevant to psychopathic pacing. 8U59927. This is the old white man who is stalking and is engaged in vagina monitoring. I was documenting him all day. It's an entity. This is P.O.C. This is a sex offender stalking on the roads and the highways. Is currently, by the way, 6:51 p.m. The entity that was sounding sirens in the video that I documented today is the entity acting with impunity. And the impunity of the Upland Police Department of the city of Upland is duly noted in the prosecution for domestic terrorism and the threat that they pose to American citizens that the state of California poses. P.O.C.